Had the power of 1/10 of what your laptop has today.
I will travel where no man has dared to go.
Into the black hole?
In, through, and beyond.
Why, that's crazy.
My father had felt that he didn't want to have a jet black sky with stars in it. He preferred a more elegant look of having the spaceships, especially the Cygnus, the large spaceship, as a darker silhouetted shape against a lighter sky. Well, to do this and to shoot a number of the shots with both the backing and the miniature, there had to be a huge star backing. He said, I have an idea. I think we need to have lights behind the backing and punch holes in the backing. Keep in mind, the backing is about 30 feet high and about 50 feet wide, 40, 50 feet wide. Thing is huge. And he said to me, come on, help me. So I think it took us another 3 days punching random holes. And you're up there thinking, okay, random, you know. Big stars, now small stars. Eventually, it looked terrific. The lights behind it were all made up of photo floods. There were hundreds of them. And it would get so hot, and we had to disable the sprinklers. And so the Burbank Fire Department said, all right, you can do that, but you must call us. So you get all ready to roll, and then turn on the lights, call the fire department, let's shoot.
We can only make temporary repairs here, Dan, and that's only to the secondary lines. Unless we can replace the damaged parts in the main regulator, we're going to lose our oxygen supply.
One of the memorable shots is the giant meteorite as it rolls down. In fact, that was later, in some people's minds, mimicked in Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was a large-scale miniature with this backlit kind of fiberglass plexi translucent ball with a lot of red light shining through it, then combined with the characters running across the bridge. And it's a very effective shot.
Captain, the ship has been programmed.
You mean we're going into the black hole?
Yep.
The best way to make this black hole, this kind of swirling mass of gas, would be to photograph in a very large plexiglass tank, round plexiglass tank with an impeller, like a propeller in the bottom, that would spin different mixtures of paint. You photograph it at very high speed from overhead. Now, to see the paint, and the reason the tank had to be in plexiglass, is you had to put lights in to the side. The light had to be incredibly intense. They got through about 2 days worth of shooting, and then one day, bam, the thing broke, water everywhere. You know, everybody's kind of climbing on ladders, wooden ladders, scared to death. That was it. That was all the shooting that they could do, because to build another plexiglass tank was hugely expensive. Anyway, we took these elements, combined them in the matte department, and so the black hole itself is made up of about 12, 15 different elements, all kind of superimposed and at different speeds on top of itself to create this illusion, which I think turned out pretty well.
I'm about to prove to you that the end justifies the means.
There was no end written for the film when we went into production. Well, what is on the other side of a black hole? Well, one of the ideas that I'm very proud of that I came up with was that it would be this kind of powers of 10 pullback, which means you keep pulling back from something to something until you reveal what it is. And I thought it would be really cool if you pulled back from Michelangelo's painting in the Sistine Chapel, where God is almost touching the finger of Adam. And if you pulled back and you saw that, and then you came down to the bottom of the Sistine Chapel, and the character Kate would be standing there looking up to it, I thought this would be, you know, very significant and spiritual, and create a great controversy. and also get me a trip to Rome. My father, being the visual effects supervisor and production designer, decided that he should shoot it, so he got the trip to Rome. But eventually, that ending of the Sistine Chapel did not make it into the film, and instead, the ending that is there today was kind of came up with that very, 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 very late in the production. And again, it was the feeling that it should be something ethereal, kind of the struggle of good and evil, and involve a lot of miniatures and fire and really cool looking stuff, which it does look pretty cool. I'm not sure what it means, but it looks cool.
If there's any justice at all, the black hole will be your grave.
I really enjoyed the experience because it was the first film that I worked on with my father, and I had had enough experience in the business so that, you know, there was a great deal of mutual respect. There was also a command performance for The Black Hole taking place in London. My father was fortunate enough to go along with Gary Nelson, the director. It was a presentation for Prince Philip, who was presented with one of my father's production illustrations. There's a picture of him looking rather quizzically at this. I mean, he was presented with it before he saw the film, so, you know, it looked like the Eiffel Tower on its side in space. Black Hole was really the last studio department visual effects film made. So you could say that The Black Hole was the last use of the old technology. It's ironic because Disney's next big visual effects film was a film called Tron, which really was, in many people's mind, the beginning of the computer graphic imagery movement. That technology was firmly established in Tron, and it was a very ambitious project, so it wasn't like starting out with just a little bit and building on it. But Disney now took this giant leap within 3 years into what was very uncertain, very cutting edge, and very scary visual effects techniques. Visual effects today, in many ways, have changed, but in many ways they have not changed. There is no slider in Photoshop that says good composition, bad composition. Computers are still a tool. A tool is a hammer, is a paintbrush, is a computer. The artistic side of it, the creative side of it, still has not been supplied by anything other than a human being. I have nostalgia for the past, but not nostalgia for the methods. They were hard. Certainly the look of The Black Hole is very elegant. Not many films look that way. You know, I'm very proud of the fact that I've been very fortunate. I worked on Star Wars, then The Black Hole. So I saw the new way, then the last vestige of the old way, done in a very good way. So it was a pretty heady time.